suspension's not bad.
Okay, the ball joints are probably open.
Shut up. Am I rolling right now? I am.
You're probably rolling.
They're
terrible.
All right.
They're terrible. Are you ready? Are you guys ready? Because on this episode of Inspiration Nation, we are going to be introducing Wesley's G37 Convertible. We're replacing his terrible suspension with a set of D2 coilovers. And if you're interested in getting a set of these D2 coilovers, make sure you hit up my homie Don at TMI Racing Products. He knows his crap, especially when it comes to race cars. Even though this isn't really a race car, is it a race car?
Everything's a race car on this channel. Let's be honest.
Everything's a race car on this channel. So with that being said, let's get this show on the road. And oh, by the way, Wes, well, you're here, but roll the. Bro, that thing looked like a transformer. Giving you a little before and after ride along. This has the TN what?
TN
S-Tech coils on factory shocks? Factory shocks.
OEM shocks.
And I don't know how well you guys can tell, but it rides like a horse and buggy. It is freaking ridiculous. I don't want to drop the camera. It's pretty
Very bouncy.
it's really bouncy. I'm not even trying to make it look bad. It's just doing it on its own.
Don't go the cheap route.
Don't. This is why you don't go. Oh, just bottom down. Oh my god! I can't hear you hold on to the camera. See what I mean? That ride along is terrible, and that was legitimately me holding the camera, not trying to make it look bad. It's terrible. D2 coilovers, because is there really any other brand of coilovers to go with? You get all your cool little gadgets and gadgets for your wrenches for adjustables. Now this is a true coilover set, so you'll be getting rid of the actual rear spring that sits in the pocket and the external strut. You get rid of all that and you actually get a true coilover. So you throw that spring away, hashtag weight reduction, and you replace it with a full coilover. So this kit is vehicle specific. So a G37 sedan or coupe will not work. It has to be a convertible. Make sure you specify that when you order your coilovers, convertible. I'm not sure what the difference is. With that being said, let's get these gorgeous things on the car. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna check ride height. And how we're gonna do that is tape measure from the ground to the crown of the fender. And the front, Wesley, is, let's see what the rear is. Rear is 24 3/4. And now the front is the front's 26 inches. Bro, your car is squatted. He's got a squatted G37. We've got to fix that. Now that we've got it where we know where it is, we know we want to pull the back up to at least be level, and it'll actually help us get it into shop, because right now we have to lay down boards to get it in the actual shop, and that's not cool. So, first thing we're going to do now is get the car jacked up and start taking it all apart. In a future video, we will be replacing those two. All right, at least we can see everything and get to it. It should be pretty straightforward. So we just did the other side, so we know all the tools you need, and we can show you the exact course of how to do it the most efficient way. Tools you'll need: 12mm short socket for the brake line. You'll need an extension for that for the 3 bolts in the top of the shock tower in the engine bay. You'll need a 14 6-point socket beep weld so that you can get to the 3 bolts on the bottom of the A-frame. you're gonna need a 19 millimeter, nope, I lied. You're gonna need the 22 millimeter socket for the bottom shock bolt slash sway bar link. It's kind of one bolt link thing together. And on the sway bar side of that link, you'll need the 19. Now, let's see how fast we can knock this out. First, 12 millimeter bolt for the brake line. Loosen the 19 off the bottom of the sway bar. There's your sway bar link. 22 millimeter socket for the bottom. Now the 14 millimeter socket for the 3 bolts on the lower A-frame. This bottom one can be at a weird angle. Your best bet will to actually use the 14 wrench, which is very scary because that one was super loose. Bolts out. There's black bracket. Make sure this assembly is straight, because when you push the stud slash sway bar link out, it'll hit the back of your caliper if you don't have it straight. Now what we're jacking the lower spindle up for is to get this sway bar bolt out. Once this bolt straightens out ever so slightly, you'll be able to push it right out. You may have to tap it slightly, but nothing too aggressive. You don't want to mess up the threads. Take you a center punch, right on the center. Comes right out. And you don't have any crazy springy action, and your threads are perfect. Relax it all the way. And you're going to take your center punch, and right there in the middle of that stud, bypass all your brake lines. And it's out. Now comes your basic ride height setup between your old and your new. Do yourself a favor. You set your ride height with the bottom, not with the spring. That is definitely how you mess up, and you can actually break the coilover that way. So we're going to start with, make sure you line all your bolts up too. You know what I mean? You want the 2 flats on the top, and then you got to make sure it stays parallel. You want it to mimic. The last thing you want to do is get it in there and the top be slightly twisted from the bottom, and you've already got it roughly in place. Which you should leave this loose until you get it installed, and then you'll use a screwdriver or a punch and a hammer, and you'll set that tight so it don't come loose. But let's see where we are. That's 22 1/8. I'm getting to the point that I kind of want to unthread it all the way and see
Just how much you have.
how many threads we have. Plenty.
It just keeps going.
Just going and going. There we go. So we want to just get an idea of how much. So if we go to 22 1/2, where the factory one was, or where the original was, and we've got everything clocked right, and we are measuring 22 1/2, and that's where we're going to start at, because that's where these measure at. We'll probably end up having to change it, but that's where we're going to start at. Snug this with your hand. Make sure you stay clocked. You are going to want to set this with a punch or a flat screwdriver and a hammer once it's locked into place. But now it's always good to have a shop mate. While you hold it in, drop that them bolts up there at the top. Just makes things easy. Now when you are measuring the distance between your factory spring and your new coilover, make sure you write down what the factory one is, and then write down where you put the new coilover going in, so that you can set the car on the ground, check your ride height. If you need to adjust it, you know where you need to adjust it to, and if you need to adjust it any, you come back to the board, cross-reference it to what you have to do with the passenger side. if that makes sense. Hope it does. Now, from where the D2 coilovers do not come with the ABS or the brake mounting point, we have found that we mount this supplied bracket onto the coilover facing the same direction, which is forward, that the ABS lines were on, and then we just took some pliers, bent it on a 90 so that we can hook it here, and then we'll just zip tie our brake line for now because we're going to be switching over to steel braided soon enough. I always like to throw a little bearing grease, some form of lubricant on any type of shaft like that. It helps squeaking and all that good stuff. And reassemble, but this is the fun part. It don't move a little, it moves a lot each time. There we go.
All right, so up here on the top of the shock tower, you've got these little pins that slide in, right? Twist it till it's flat. All right, this has 36 clicks in it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click it over 18 times, which will basically center up the stiffness between stiff and soft, right? 15, 16, 17, 18. And so you'll feel every click in this as it turns. And yeah, so 36 is a full rotation. You want half of that to start your stiffness on your suspension. Disclaimer, if you are doing this to your car, any kind of modified suspension on a G37, be it convertible, coupe, sedan, whatever, you need some of these SPC adjustable camber bolts, because this is what's going to give your alignment guy the most control of getting your toe taken out. Because if you don't, you're going to get a lot of wear on the inside of your tire.
Now the rear on the convertible is super simple. You don't have to go into the trunk at all. Everything is done right here. Tools you'll need: 17mm wrench, 17mm socket, an impact gun, 12mm, and a ratchet so you can get the top of the strut, and you're going to need a breaker bar. And you need a 19mm socket for the bottom shock bolt / coilover bolt. But we're going to start with the 17 wrench and socket. Place your jack under the spring perch control arm. Put a little tension on it so the spring doesn't fly out at you. Now the bolt is out, you're going to relieve pressure until the spring relaxes. Again, this will be under a whole lot more pressure if you were running OEM springs.
Yeah, the TNS techs in the rear drop the car about 2 inches.
That one you're able to take right out by hand. And then you can just reinstall this bolt and you're done with that complete arm. The rear is a lot easier than the front. And once the spring is out, you can reinstall this lower control arm spring pocket, but it will kind of twist on you, so you may have to get a pry bar down in there and kind of shimmy it to get the bolt to line back up. Other than that, it can't be a pain in the butt. Now you want to undo this bolt right here, and the lower, it's actually shock, but it will be the lower control arm, or it'll be the lower coilover. Yatta! Take the 12mm and undo the top 2 bolts. They're really long. Part that you need a buddy.
I love working on cars.
Essentially, you're gonna put the bottom in I want to stick the bolt in and have it floating. Put your pry bar into the groove on your spring bucket. You have the buddy pushed down. You slip it in over the studs at the top. You got it in? Goes in from the front to the back. It's hard for you guys to see, but essentially you just stick it down in there, run the bolt through the bottom, lay it up there beside the shock tower. When I push down, Wes is just gonna fall it in. And when I let off, it'll slide right up on the studs. You need 2 people for this. Okay. And if our measurements are correct, we won't have to redo all that to make sure it's the right height.
For the rears, these, we went slightly stiffer in the rear. So instead of going to 18, like we were in the, or not 18, yeah, 18 like we were in the front, we put these to 20. So they're slightly stiffer than the fronts will be. And that's mainly because the rear hatch of this car, being this convertible, is a lot heavier than your standard coupe and or sedan. Therefore, we just felt like it was necessary.
I'm excited. All right. Be happy. There you have it, guys. Basic idea of what to expect when putting coilovers on your 2010 G37 Convertible. They suck.
There's the OEMs.
Well, that's OEM with 10 springs. Garbage.
10 S-Tech.
Garbage springs. Don't go that way.
No.
D2 coilovers. Reach out to my man Don at TMI Racing Products, and he'll get you set right up on a set of D2 coilovers, and you won't regret it. We assure you. Don't ignore that little subscribe button. Make sure you hit that thing.